Amanda, my mother, a little woman of great but confused vitality, clinging frantically to another time and place. Having failed to establish contact with reality, continues to live in her illusions of past dreams involving social and economic success. Laura, my sister, a childhood illness has left her crippled, one leg slightly shorter than the other and held in a brace. Laura's separation from society increases till she is like a piece of her own glass collection, too exquisitely fragile to move from the shelf. And I, Tom, a poet, I refuse to accept the blandness of my life and instead divulge in fantasies of adventure through movies and drinking. And Jim, the gentleman caller you'll meet later, a nice, ordinary young man.
In an apartment in St. Louis, there I lived with my nuance of a mother and crippled sister, our father absent, a runaway. I work hard at a shoe warehouse to support my burden of a family, the job keeping me at bay from my dreams of artistry and adventure. In the memories I will show you, you will see the theme of the inability to grasp reality, which leaves the Wingfields wrapped in illusions that render them unable to function in society. As you watch, pay attention to each character's interactions with Jim, who represents reality. The Wingfields view what they want to see in Jim, a view that is a distortion of the truth. Jim's presence causes each character to retreat deeper into their personal fantasy, denying themselves from the truth of reality.
Laura, where have you been going when you've gone out pretending that you were going to business college?
I've just been going out walking.
That's not true.
It is. I've just been going out walking.
So what are we gonna do for the rest of our lives? Watch the parades go by and amuse ourselves with the Glass Menagerie, darling? Eternally play those worn-out phonograph records your father left behind?
That's Jesus. That is Jesus.
I don't care. Girls that aren't cut off for business careers usually wind up married to a nice man. Sister, that's what she'll do.
Look, I've got no single thing
Lower your voice.
that I call my own. Everything is...
Stop that shouting. Look, I think you've been doing things that you're ashamed of. That's why you act like this. Nobody in their right minds goes to the movies as often as you pretend to. People don't go to the movies at nearly midnight, and movies don't let out at 2 a.m. Come in stumbling, mumbling like a maniac. You get 3 hours sleep and then go to work. Oh, I can just see the way you're going down there. Moping, doping, because you're in no damn condition.
Listen, you think I'm crazy about the warehouse? You think I'm in love with the Continental shoemakers? You think I want to spend the next 55 years down there in that cellotext interior with those fluorescent tubes? Look, I'd rather someone picked up a crowbar and battered out my brains than go back in the mornings, but I go. Every time you come in yelling that goddamn rise and shine, I think to myself how lucky dead people are, but I go. I give up all I hope of being and doing, and you think self is all I think about? Mother, if self is all I thought about, I'd be where he is. I'd be gone. Don't grab at me, Mother.
Where are you going?
I'm going to the movies, you ugly, babbling old... We're going to have a gentleman caller.
What?
A gentleman caller. I've asked him to dinner.
Naturally, I'd like to know what time he's coming.
He's coming tomorrow.
That gives me no time for anything.
For what?
Preparations. My wedding silver needs to be polished, the windows need to be washed, and fresh curtains have to be put up. Do you know he's the first young man we've introduced to your sister? You know, when I was young.
Listen, you're gonna lose your job if you don't start waking up. I am waking up. I'm planning to change. I'm committing myself to a future that doesn't involve the warehouse. What are you gassing about? I'm tired of going to the movies. Movies? Yes, movies. All those glamorous people having adventures, hogging it all. You know what happens then? People go to the movies instead of moving. Well, I'm not that patient. I'm tired of going to the movies, and I'm about to move. Move? When? Soon. Where? And I think supper's on the table.
articles, mostly ornaments. Most of them are little animals made out of glass, the tiniest animals in the world. Mother calls them a glass menagerie. Here's an example of one if you would like to see.
I better not take it. I'm pretty clumsy with things.
If you breathe, it breaks. But go on, I trust you. There you go. Holding it gently.
It sure does shine.
Well, I shouldn't be partial, but it is my favorite one.
What kind of thing is it?
Do you not see the horn on its head?
A unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
The sound of breaking glass.
It's only the shank of the evening, Mr. O'Connor.
I have a couple of time cards to punch. One in the morning and one in the evening.
My, but you are ambitious. You work at night too?
Not work, ma'am. Betty.
Betty? Who's Betty?
Betty's just the girl I go steady with.
Oh, is it a serious romance, Mr. O'Connor?
We're getting married the second Sunday of June.
Oh, how nice. Tom didn't mention that you were engaged to be married.
Well, the cat's not out of the bag at the warehouse yet. You know how they are. They call you Romeo and stuff. But this was a wonderful evening, Mrs. Wingfield. I guess this is what they mean by Southern hospitality.
It really wasn't anything at all, honestly.
I hope it doesn't seem like I'm rushing off, but I had promised Betty I'd pick her up at the Wabash Depot, and you know how some women are.
Yes, I know, the tyranny of women. Goodbye, Mr. O'Connor. I wish you luck and happiness and success. Tom,
Yes, Mother?
come in here for a second. I want to tell you something awfully funny.
Has our gentleman caller gotten away already?
Our gentleman caller has made an early departure. What a wonderful joke you played on us.
How do you mean?
You didn't tell us he was engaged to be married.
Jim? Engaged?
That's what you just informed us.
Well, I'll be jiggered. I didn't know about that.
That seems peculiar.
What's peculiar about it?
Did you call him your best friend down at the warehouse?
He is, but how would I know?
You manufacture illusions. Where are you going?
Going to the movies.
That's right, now that you've had us make such fool of ourselves, the effort, the preparations, all the expense, the new floor lamp, the rug, the clothes for Laura, all for what? To entertain some other girl's fiance? Go to the movies, go! Don't think about us, a mother deserted, an unmarried sister who's crippled, and has no job. Don't let anything interfere with your selfish pleasure. Just go, go, go to the movies!
I didn't go to the moon. I went much further, for time is the longest distance between places. Not long after that, I was fired for writing a poem on the lid of a shoebox. I left St. Louis. I descended the step of this fire escape for a last time and followed, from then on, in my father's footsteps, attempting to find in motion what was lost in space. I traveled around a great deal. The city swept about me like dead leaves, leaves that were brightly colored but torn away from the branches. I would have stopped, but I was pursued by something. It always came upon me unawares, taking me altogether by surprise. Perhaps it was a familiar bit of music. Perhaps it was only a piece of transparent glass. Perhaps I am walking along a street at night in some strange city before I have found companions. I pass the lighted window of a shop where perfume is sold. The window is filled with pieces of colored glass, tiny transparent bottles in delicate colors, like bits of a shattered rainbow. Then, all at once, my sister touches my shoulder. I turn around and look her into the eyes. Oh, Laura, Laura, I tried to leave you behind me, but I am more faithful than I intended to be. I reach for a cigarette. I cross the street. I run into the movies or a bar. I buy a drink. I speak to the nearest stranger, anything that can blow your candles out. For nowadays, the world is lit by lighting. Blow out your candles, Laura, and so goodbye.